got a new Christmas mug. It's so cute. Look at the penguins. Ah, pretty penguin. Oh, look. Little Christmas tree person and Santy. This was from Home Bargains and it was a hot chocolate set. It had got marshmallows and things in the top. But I just bought it because I love the mug so much. It was really reasonable. Less than £3. Makes me happy. Small things do. Hello and welcome to the Green Lambkin podcast. This is podcast episode 20 something. I'm sorry, I forgot to check and it's that long since I did the last one that it's gone from my memory what episode we're on. Anyway, a raft of apologies to begin with. Right, to start with, I've just been to the doctors and been given some antibiotics for sinus infection. I've got nasty postnasal drip, so I'm probably going to do a lot of throughout it. I'll try and keep it to a minimum. I've got lots of drinks to keep me lubricated, so hopefully that won't be too much of a problem. I am woefully unprepared for this podcast. I've written 0 show notes. I'm going to do it by the seat of my pants. I really wanted to do a quick one just to share all of my FO's Christmas gift knitting and things like that before I wrap them all up and send them off. So bear with me. If there's anything that I can't remember the name of, or I don't say clearly enough, or anything like that, just send me a message on Instagram, on Facebook, here, ask me a question here on YouTube, and I will get straight back to you as quickly as I can. So, and if I do forget anything, just ping me and say, what was it did you say that shawl was, or whatever, and I will endeavour to help you out. More than happy to answer questions about the content and things like that. So, today I have got a new phone which I'm recording on, and a nice tripod, a really good tripod, which Johnny and I have got together, we're sharing, and I'm hoping that that's going to really reduce the wobble. My old tripod was one of those little adjustable wobbly things, and this one is a really big sturdy, I'm a big tripod kind of a thing. So I'm hoping, I can already tell it's a much more stable setup. So hopefully the volumes are going to be okay today. I am going to try and keep my volume up a little bit. So hopefully that will help. And we'll see how we go with this new rig. And hopefully I can share with you all the lovely little things that I've made, and all the lovely little things I am making, and all the lovely little things I have recently acquired. Move this over here. Right, so it's a bit of an FO show and it's almost entirely gifty things. So a little disclaimer here. If you are Mum, Dad, Rachel, don't watch. Cosmo, I don't think you're going to be watching anyway, but if you're watching, stop it. Go away, naughty. Right, with that over and done with, let me show you some FOs for gifts. Ooh, I thought I was a bit chilly, but now I've had a drink of coffee and I've been rushing around gathering things. All of a sudden I've got warm, so I'll have to take my shawl off before we go any further. This is the... is it Salcombe or is it Salcombe, Hannah? I'm not sure. I suppose it depends on where you're from. This is the Salcombe shawl by Hannah Woodhead of Yarnia Designs. And I showed it a couple of podcasts ago in lots of detail. So if you're interested in that, go back. I think it's 2 episodes ago, and you can find out what that's knitted in and more details about it. Anyway, sling that there. Right, FOs. First of all, a selfish FO. I knitted up a pair of socks in one of my new Christmas colourways for this year, which is Sugar Plum Fairy on the Stellina base. Hold them back so you can get a bit of a better look at them to begin with. I'll give you some detail. So this is a sort of delicate ballerina kind of pink background with a micro stripe of sort of festive colours. So you've got a darker pink, gold, red, a sort of a Christmas green, and a dark purple. Sort of nutcracker, sugar plum fairy-ish kind of colours. And then I've done the heels and the toes in a Drops Farball colourway, which is, it's a bit redder than that. Oh, yeah, that's about right. So that's a Drops Farball because I do find that the commercial yarns and heels and toes is a good idea for me because I've got trotters rather than feet. So it's just a standard 2x2 rib cuff, a long leg 64 stitch on a 2.25mm needle. That's a forethought heel. I've explained before why I use a forethought heel due to my ridiculously deep instep. It gives me extra depth there and width there. And then on down the foot, and your normal standard traditional double decreased toe, finished off with Kitchener stitch. So this is Sugar Plum Fairy. I have still got some available in the shop to buy now and some for pre-order. If you are thinking it's probably too late to get it for Christmas this year, but if you're thinking of something for a Christmas Eve cast on for next year, there's still some there. So that's my first FO, and they've been sitting here on the blockers waiting for me to show them to you. So now I can put them in my little pile of socks for Christmas, and I might wear them on Christmas Eve. So that's the first FO. The second one is it was a quick knit and a very satisfying knit, and it's got cat hair on it. This is a lovely beanie, which is knitted in, if you're going to be able to read that, Alpaca Chunky by Stylecraft. And it is a blend of 20% alpaca and 80% acrylic, and it's machine washable at 30 degrees. And this is just a nice cosy snug beanie for my dad for Christmas. I actually would quite like to knit one of this design myself because I think it's a really nice hat. It's just is it 2x2? Yeah, just a normal standard 2x2 rib on the bottom, and then it's got a nice sort of cross pattern decrease at the top, which I think makes it really nice, and I think with a pom-pom on top that would be lovely. So I think I might do one of these for myself after Christmas. So that's that. I think I knitted it on either a 6 or a 6.5mm circ, and I just knitted it magic loop in the round. Really quick, really satisfying, and red really suits my dad. And his old hat that he wore for gardening and things is absolutely at the end of its useful existence. So I think I will tell him to just get this used and not save it for best. Get out in the garden in it, and Mum can wash it. It goes in the machine, it's no problem. So that's the second FO. The third FO is a Ricky hat. And this has been knit out of some green lambkin yarn in the tweed Aran. The Tweedy Aran. I can't remember the names of my own bases, that's clever. Well done, Suzanne. But yes, it's the Ricky hat knitted on the needles that are recommended for the pattern. I think it's a 5mm on the top and a 3.5, or yeah, I think it's quite a small needle for the bottom part to make the brim denser. And this is for my friend Rach for Christmas. She's a very similar size to me. So it's not a really tight squeezy hat, but it does come well down over your ears. And it's got a nice slouch in it. And I got this pom-pom. Oh, sorry, I was telling you the yarn. Yes, it's the Tweed Aran green lambkin. And it's a colourway I dyed up for the Derbyshire Dyers last January, and it's called Rhubarb Crumble, and I just saved a skein of this for myself, and I thought that would really suit her taste, so that's for my mate Rach. And there's a pom-pom on the top, which I bought from eBay, and it's lovely, but I was a bit cross really. I bought two, and I ordered two different colours, a burgundy and then a really deep plummy purple one, and I also ordered pom-poms that had the snap fastenings on so it could be easily removed when she wants to wash it. And that's not what I got. I got two exactly the same colour, which luckily goes really well with this. I was going to save one for myself. I wanted the dark purple one, but obviously I didn't get it. And they didn't have the snap popper fastening on, which was very naughty. They had a little, let's see if we can get it off, a little teeny weeny elastic loop. Yeah, I've undone it, right. Not sure if you're going to be able, oh you can see it. A little elastic loop. And I really didn't want to sew it on and make it a permanent fixture. Oh, Johnny's coming in. Hello, I'm just podcasting. So what I ended up doing is when I cinched the top in, I left a little hole, you can see my finger poking through there, and I stitched a little button just to the side of it. So what you can do is, if I can demonstrate this, it's a bit of a fiddle, but what you can do is you can poke the pom-pom elastic through the hole like that, and then slip it over the button, and then it will stay in place and be easily removable when she wants to wash it. And I think that's worked out okay, but I don't think it feels as secure as it would have done if it were the big sturdy popper. But anyway, you win some, you lose some. That's what you get for buying it on eBay. Should have known better. Okay, so that's the next FO. 3 FOs, but it's ages since I've seen you. The next one is a clanger, and this is for Cosmo. Oh, and I've just realised I've not put a thing out. Stay there for a minute. I just remembered I'd left an FO in a bag over there. Right, so the clanger, I started knitting about 2.5 years ago, and then remembered after I'd knit the first one but not put it together how much I hate knitting and sewing up toys, and it's sat in my bureau locked away for, well, all that time, and the idea was I was going to knit one for Cosmo and one for Ivy, but I just couldn't bring myself to make the second one at all. And then my friend said to me, because Cosmo had actually asked me for a knitted clanger, and my friend said, well, it doesn't really matter if you do one for him and not Ivy, because you make lots of dolly clothes and things for Ivy, and Cosmo doesn't get as many knitted things. I thought, of course. So I braved it, sucked it up and put together the clanger, and it has been... it's been the work of hours, and it's been a pain, and I've made loads of mistakes. Had to unpick them, accidentally snipped a stitch, had to re-knit a leg, etc. So I'm really glad it's done. I feel like I have triumphed over adversity and made something really cute. It's full of mistakes. It's not my best work, especially not the sewing up. But by the time I got to that pitch, I just thought, you know what, Cosmo will love it, whether the seams are a bit wonky and wobbly or not. So all that matters is he likes it. So without further ado, say hello to Small Clanger. So Small Clanger has a small blonde golden fringe. He has lined ears with I-cord trim. He has safety eyes and a little felt nosy, and a very carefully and meticulously put together blue tabard with an S embroidered on it. It looks a bit like some kind of kinky bikini, but the only thing I didn't do that the pattern suggested was put stiff interfacing in the middle of the feet, because the feet have got 2 layers, a top layer which you stitch the bottom of the leg to, and then a bottom layer which you stitch on and blanket stitch around to hide that stitching, and you're supposed to put some interfacing in between. And I didn't bother with that because A, I didn't have any, and B, I didn't think it was particularly necessary. He can't stand up on his own anyway. So, complete with tiny little knitted fingers, which aren't sewn on very well, but again, I don't think Cos will mind, and his seam under his neck's a little bit wonky, but, you know, does it really matter? So he's knitted out of some... I can't remember what the yarn. I think it's Peter Pan, and it's just an acrylic. But I bought from the Wool Cabin, which is the local wool shop in our market hall in the centre of Chesterfield. And just some blue felt, black felt, pale pink felt. And then the little bits on his tabard here, little bits that hold it together, and also this bit here are actually from the same sock yarn. It was a self-striping that I used to knit a pair of socks for my dad in early summer for his birthday, so I just used a bit of that. So that's that. I have triumphed over adversity and completed a clanger. And if Ivy says, "Why haven't you made me a tiny clanger, Mummy?" on Christmas morning, my head will probably explode. Not really, because I have knitted her a pair of socks and pants for her 18-inch Our Generation dollies, and I have also knitted a most adorable little outfit, some little cropped leggings that are curling up still. I've blocked them, but hey ho. So some little cropped leggings and a little tunic, and I've crocheted a tiny little flower corsage out of the leggings yarn. And this is a sock yarn, again from the Wool Cabin, and it's an opal, I believe. It's just got quite a wide neckline, and then on the back it's got 6 little buttons to finish it off, and it's the same pattern that I used when I made the top to go under the dungaree dress. I think it's called the Play Day dress, but again, if you want to know the specific pattern, I will happily send you a link to it if you just ask me the question. That's no problem. So that's that. And that's going to get wrapped up after I finish podcasting as well. And then the last FO is going to be in the section "What's our Gert wearing?" Because this is, I showed this to you, I think, last time I podcasted. "Ah, Gert, you're losing your head. What are you doing?" Oh dear, don't stay down. This is a very warm and cosy shawl for my mummy with big tassels on the ends. And this is the Margaret's Healing Hug shawl on Ravelry. If you just search for Margaret's Healing Hug, it will come up. I believe it's a free pattern, and I've made this in the Adriafil Zebrino. It's an Aran weight yarn, and I used quite a large crochet hook, something like a 6 or a 6 1/5mm hook. And I just made a couple of tassels for each end. It's soft and scrumptious and delicious, and it will keep her cosy in the winter months at home. And I now want to make myself a garment in this yarn because I love it so much, and I've even decided what garment it's going to be. It's like a shawl collared cardigan. Oh, Gert, I'm not going to be able to do this very easily here, am I? Yeah, a shawl collared sort of cosy cardi that was in one of the Interweave Knits magazines, and it's called the Chanticleer cardigan. So that's in my list of things to do in the knit in the future. Right, so that's all the FOs that I can think of. There probably have been more that have already, well there has, because I knitted a pair of squirrel mitts in some of my Twisted EK for a friend of mine who's got problems with cold wrists. So I gifted them straight to her as soon as they were off the needles. And there have been other things as well, but some of them have been given away and some of them have gone into use, and I've forgotten that I made them recently. So so this is a sort oh, let me show you this one first, because this is a hoe, and this is sort of dipping into acquisitions as well. So living in one of my lovely Christmas bags that I had from my sister Laura, it's Craftmonger Law. I won't show you the label because I don't think you'll be able to read it because it's all gold and glittery. So this is a Craftmonger Law 2 skein project bag with Christmas gingerbready houses on it, and that was a Christmas present last Christmas, and I've got Glitzy the reindeer hanging on there very cutely. And this is a bit of an acquisition because we went away on holiday to Scotland in the October half term into the Fife area, and I visited the most lovely yarn shop called the Woolly Brew in a little town called, I don't know if it's a town or a village. If it's a village, it's a big one, called Pittenweem. And it was a fantastic shop, and the owner was so lovely and friendly. I had a good chat with her, and I treated myself to a few bits. And one of the things I bought was some West Yorkshire Spinners Fairy Lights, this year's Christmas colourway from West Yorkshire Spinners, and a skein of their chocolate lime, which coordinates with it. So I have a Hang on a minute, let me put it on a blocker. You'd think I'd be prepared, wouldn't you? Why would you think that if you know me? Anything but prepared, eh? It's a good job I'm quite skilled at flying by the seat of my pants, isn't it? So talk amongst yourselves. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. It's a hoe. It has that nice little cabled rib that I sometimes do on the top, just to give that a bit more interest. This first sock absolutely flew off the needles. I'd finished it, I think I bought it on the Thursday and I'd finished it by the end of the Sunday of the same week. So I made them a little bit longer, give me a little bit more room. So they're just hanging off the end of the blocker there. And it's exactly the same as my Sugar Plum Fairy socks, exactly the same construction, apart from this has got the little twisted stitch in the rib where the other one didn't. It's still 2x2 rib. Nice long length in the leg. So that's the hoe, and the other one has only just started being knit on again. I started it and then I got overtaken by the last minute bits of Christmas knitting that needed finishing. So I've got it in my little, one of my little needle cozies from Craftmonger Law. And I am this far on with it, but I'm hoping that over the next few days I can zoom through it so that I can wear these for Christmas. In my mind, I would really like to have these finished by Christmas Eve also, so that then when it comes to doing my Christmas Eve cast on, I don't feel guilty that I haven't finished these off. So I've done the rib. I think that is 20 rounds of the twisted rib. And you know when you're doing that little twist every 4th round, it makes it go so much quicker than if you were just doing 20 rounds of 2x2 rib. You can see it a bit better at that angle, look. There you go. So now I'm just motoring on down, and I did get them so that they will match. Sometimes I do like matchy-matchy, sometimes I don't. This time I decided I was going for it. And I've got, turn it this way up, might be able to see it better. Yeah. I've got one of my stitch markers from last Christmas, which is a holly, a little holly leaf and berries with some sparkles on, which was made for me by my friend Nicola, who is Forever Fairies on Etsy, Instagram and Facebook, and she does the most amazing Fimo modelling. She makes wedding cake toppers and Christmas decorations and all sorts. In fact, I got some new bits from her this Christmas, and I very remiss of me, I didn't bring them over to show you, so that's a bit silly really. If all goes to plan and I can get my house properly sorted out, I am intending to do a little Christmas home tour to upload here before Christmas, so I will take the time in that video to point out the ones that Nicola has made. So that's my Fairy Lights West Yorkshire Spinners socks, and I'm knitting those on ChowGoo 2.25mm. And that's another reason why I want to get them done before Christmas Eve, because I want my ChowGoos for my Christmas Eve cast on. Right, only 2 more whips. The first one, it's a bit of a throwback. You may remember this giant sack of Sirdar. Is it Sirdar? I can't even remember what the yarn is now. How silly of me. I think it is. It's a Stylecraft Aran, I think. I had this last Christmas, well, just before last Christmas, and I made a new Christmas stocking each for Ivy and Cosmo, because their old ones that I'd made them did disappear, and I think they got thrown away, along with the 2 that I'd made lovingly for myself and Johnny when we were together but not married, with lovely little felt teddy bears on them. Anyway, never mind. Moving on. I made the Christmas stockings and I had a mass of this left, and I put it under my bed, and I thought, I know what I'm going to do next year. I am going to make a Christmas tree skirt with the remainder. And look, I'm getting well into the skirt, and now I'm thinking for next Christmas I'm going to make a really beautiful bunting garland with it as well to hang in the front room. So you're going to have, this yarn is going to be all over my front room. But again, this was a thing that I started but haven't got all that far with. But that's okay, because I don't mind if I work on this between Christmas and New Year, and I can put it under the tree after Christmas, before we put the decks down. I'm fine with that. Got a little reindeer progress keeper there. It's coming up really quickly. Now, I'm not putting any of the white in because I've only got this much, and I think what I'm going to do is continue using the stripes of the lovely bright colours. I'm loving the way this is looking. So I'm going to continue, and it doesn't need to be too wide because I don't want it to be one of these big ones that spreads right out. And we've got a new Christmas tree this year, which comes right, its branches come right down to the ground. There's only about that much space, so you can't really see the stand anyway. So I just want it to peep out. So I'm just going to carry on and keep trying it against the tree until that's about the right depth. And then I'm going to put a bobble edging on with the white, and then I've got some white DK with sparkle in it. It's just acrylic stuff from, I think that might be Peter Pan, that I bought from the local wool shop, the Wool Cabin, for making some snowflakes for Catherine from the Treasure Chest charity. She's been selling those this Christmas to raise funds for breast cancer at her local hospital. So I did some snowflakes for her in that, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some small snowflakes in that sparkly white and just dot them about, and maybe put the odd sequin just to make it look like it's been snowed on. So when I've finished that, I'll try and take some photos, because I now have got my new computer. It is not yet set up, but the plan is that we're going to set all of that up in a little workstation in the craft room between Christmas and New Year. And it's a Mac, and it's got really good video editing software on it, and I'm going to learn to edit videos and insert clips and put captions and put music. And so once I do that, I'll be able to put pictures of it in when it's done. So when I do my house tour with the lights, you'll see the Christmas tree and everything, you'll see how appropriate this colour scheme is for our house, because it's very, well, you can see just behind me, very much a fan of the vintage Christmas feel, the multicoloured lights, a myriad of different Christmas decorations, all different colours, all of them have special meaning. Up here on this little tree behind me, which is called a Victorian Christmas tree, and it's just wire curlicues. Those are all particularly special ones. So this pink one here, which you can probably barely see, that's one that I bought for mine and Johnny's first Christmas together. And then there's one over here, I think that's an angel made of seashells, which my parents-in-law bought back from Barbados. They went on a cruise just after Ivy was born, and they bought that back for her. And so each one has I mean, they've all got special meaning to me. But they're some of the prime beauties, if you know what I mean. So anyway, that's all to say. I will show you some pictures of it or a video clip when it's done. But what I'm going to do is work on that as and when I can. My primary goal is to get the other fairy lights sock done. And then I'm also working on a daily project, which I'll show you now. And then perhaps I'll keep this out, and in the new year I'll work on the bunting so that it's all ready to go next year, and it'll be something to chase the post-Christmas blues away. I always try to do something straight away to get ready for Christmas next year, because I'm a nutter. No, because I feel very sad when Christmas goes away for the year, and I have to do things to remind myself that the magic will come back again. I know, I am so childish. So, on to my last FO, which is a daily advent project. And it is living in this beautiful Christmas project bag, which was gifted to me from Princess P. You can't see it very clearly on here. No, it's too bright to show. Last Christmas, I put a request out for a Christmas project bag on the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. Excuse me, sorry. And got a lovely Christmas project bag, and it's got this gorgeous reindeer fabric inside and little pop pocks. And it's got a very appropriate peppermint patty reindeer on it. That's a Beanie Boo. And then it's also got a jingly little deer, which I made some of, little bag charms for this Christmas. I've been selling some of those. And in here is Living, my Advent project, which I actually started last Advent. Because every year my friend Paula and I do an Advent mini swap. And last Advent I started this. I added in all of the Advent yarns from our swap. So 1 10-gram skein every day. And I also added in lots of other things. So it's really long now. That's the wrong side. Turn it around. So I interspersed this with other minis that were in my stash as well that I really wanted to be in it. And then when the new year came and I'd finished my Christmas Eve cast on, which was London House Yarn Yule Ball, you can see there that stripy section is that sock yarn. And these were what I used in my Christmas tree socks that I made last winter. And then I carried on and I carried on and I carried on, and eventually I thought I need to stop because I want to put this year's Advents in as well, and it's going to get too long. So I stopped here at this green stripe. And so everything from there onwards, so this one onwards, which is a lovely blue, pale blue speckly one, these are all my minis from this year. And my friend Paula has excelled herself, and she's been quite naughty and very treaty really, because she has actually bought minis in for me every day. And I believe that they've all been dyed by Sam from Unbelievable, and I am so in love with all of them, and I just think they all complement each other so well. There's a really nice mix. Love these neon speckly ones. And I have, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been sharing a daily update of them. Oh, I just love all the colours so much. Cranberries here. I said this one here yesterday's reminds me of lemon and, not yesterday's, the 18th. Reminds me of the lemon and lime drink that Mum used to buy me sometimes as a treat in the cafe at Woolies when I was little. I've got a progress keeper, which I'm moving up each day, and it's a little stocking. I'm not sure if it's meant to be a Christmas stocking or just a sock, but in my mind that's a Christmas stocking, and that's from Hannah at the Corner of Craft. And it's one of her little tiny weeny beaded ones. It's beautiful. I love it so much. So I'm actually a little bit behind now. I've been really good. I've been putting one in every day. But for the last couple of days I've not been able to do it. And then I've had a spurt and put 3 in. And I started putting, this is yesterday's, so the 19th. And I started putting that in last night. But then I was just so tired I had to put it down. It's a lovely Ribena-y black curranty colour. And I'm just doing 12 rows of garter stitch with a slip stitch edge on it. And then every so often I'm having a little pop at darning the ends in. So you can see I've got up to that neon one there. So every 2 or 3 days I'm just darning about 10 ends in. And I've got the rest of this Advent, so another 4 skeins to go. And then I've also got a set of Ducky Darling's paint box minis. So that's another, I can't remember whether there's 10 or 12. And then I've also got things like my Sugar Plum Fairy and a little bit of this that I'll want to put in and various other things. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to finish it off, and next year I can start a new Advent project. So what is it, you're wondering? Is it a Doctor Who scarf? No, it's not. What it's going to be is a massive infinity scarf. So it goes around twice really nicely at the moment, and ideally I would like it to go around 3 times, and then I can wear it looser, or I can wear it really bundled up and it'll come all round here like that. It'll be all nice and close up around my ears. It's so squishy and soft, and I like that it's got all different bits of stuff in it. I'm toying with the idea of making small tassels and fringing one long edge of it so they'll all stick out a bit like a porcupine. I'm not sure. I might try it with a couple and just see what I think. Either that or some pom-poms, or maybe a bit of both. I mean, it's completely bonkers anyway, so why not make it a bit more bonkers? I like bonkers. I like to consider myself bonkers, so why not, eh? So that, oh, and I'm knitting these on. Hang on a minute, I'm getting very tangled up here. Let me wind this up. Nice. These are Knit Pro Nova interchangeables. I'm not sure if you can see the join there, but they are Knit Pro Nova on a short cable. And I think these are either, actually no, it's so long, I've not measured them. It's so long since I bought them now, I've forgotten. I think they're a 3.25mm, but if they're not, they're a 3.5. To get that nice airy, squishy feeling to it. So that I am thoroughly enjoying. And I've got a fishbowl type thing in the front room. And when I finish putting it into my cowl, infinity scarf, I suppose I should call it really, I've been putting the rest of it, so this is yesterday's, no, the day before yesterday's. So you can see I'm only using, they're a 10 gram mini. Ooh, blowout. Neon, gorgeous. And I'm putting them into my fishbowl, and then the rest of them are going to go into my mini square blanket, and I'm going to try and add them all, and the other ones that I mentioned that are going into the cowl. And then my mini square blanket will be done as well, because it's really getting big. So that's another thing I'm planning to work on after Christmas and in the new year, to get that finally done, because I would really like to make a Battenberg blanket next, and I've got so many minis still that I've got plenty to do. A beautiful blanket. So that's that, and I'm going to show you today's mini skein, which is gorgeous. It's this lovely golden, it's much more golden than it's showing up on screen. Golden yellow with pops of green and this glorious rich orange. Look at the speckles. Oh yes. So that's going in later on today after the purple, and I think they will look so gorgeous next to each other. And I thought I would show you a few of the other bits and bobs that come in a mini. So she gives, what I get each morning is one of these cute little boxes. It reminds me of a Chinese box, and it's got the number on top. And they're colouring ones, so Ivy and Cosmo have been doing some of the colouring in them. And you open that up like so, and inside is the mini, obviously, each day, and a candle, a little Yankee tea light each day. One of these gorgeous little silvery acorns, which I've got a new garland in the front room, and I'm putting these on that. I've got to catch up with doing that as well. And then a little, a Quality Street, because they are my favourite at Christmas. And then each day a little gift, and she's put so much thought and effort in. And this, yesterday's is gorgeous. It's a little progress keeper, and it's an, oh, you might not see, oh there, that's better. It's a little beaded angel with pretty little wings. The day before I squealed because I've been wanting to try this and I didn't manage to get any for myself. It's the Body Shop pumpkin, vanilla pumpkin hand cream, which they brought out around Halloween time. Look at that design. Does that not just make you feel very happy? I adore that. So I've actually not opened this yet. I've been saving it. I might put some on tonight. And today, it's so adorable. I don't know where she's got this from. It's gorgeous. Look at this. It's a mini pencil crayons necklace. It's almost too wee. Look, this is the size of my hand. Look at the size of this little set of mini pencil crayons. And they're such sweet colours, and there's a little cloud. And there's been all sorts. There's been Osprey soaps. There's been a couple of number 7 nail varnishes. Oh, a beautiful little charm bracelet. So much lovely stuff. She treats me and spoils me rotten. So that's sort of an acquisition as well, isn't it? And on to acquisitions. I realise I've left another pin upstairs, which I've been saving to show you. But I'll show you that on the next one. I might even get a chance to podcast again over the Christmas holiday. So to finish off the Woolly Brew haul, as well as the West Yorkshire Spinners yarns, I bought, I'm loving neon at the moment, as you will be able to tell. Oh, look at that, it glows. This is the Coop Knit Soxier, and this colour is Xenon. Beautiful neon highlighter pink, and it's a 50-gram skein. Not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, but I have got an ever-growing stash of neon yarns. I bought some from Dye Candy when I went to Fibre East in summer, and that's got little flecks of neon pink in, so that might go that. But I bought that because I'm in my head I'm formulating plans for neon projects in the future. I bought some of these from Fripperies and Bibbelots. No, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to show you these because they're so teeny weeny. They are, can you see? Oh, you can. Tiny little metal star-shaped stitch markers with nothing on them. They're just little metal rings, but stars instead of circles. And I say they were Fripperies and Bibbelots, I think you say, simple solid rings. Their address is www.fripandbib.com. And I've got in my mind to make some little Fair Isle baubles. I saw some charts on Pinterest. So while I was there, I also bought a set of these Millward bamboo DPNs in a size 2mm. But again, that might be something I have a little tinker with between Christmas and the New Year. So that was that. Next came a beautiful, beautiful gift from Hannah at the Corner of Craft. She and I met up in October, just after Ivy's birthday. She and Ivy and I had a lovely day out in Chesterfield. Amazingly, it was lovely. And she bought me a gift. For a start, when she went to Edinburgh Yarn Festival, I charged her with the job of asking Kristen of Voolenvine Yarns for one of her lovely Yarngasm pins. And you can't really tell in the light, but it's like rose gold holographic background and it says Yarngasm on it. So now I've shown you that, that's going on my pin bag. And then she gave me some of her Corner of Craft stitch markers. They've slid to the side. I'm just rearranging them so you can see better. Two. One is a black sheep and the other one is a ball of yarn, and it's like stripy yarn. Look, can you see? Yes, you can. And they have those brilliant lever back earring fastenings on, which I find fantastic. So yeah, little black sheep, little ball of yarn. And these take so much time. She gave me two and she'd already given me some before. Hannah, you are very lovely and generous. Thank you so much. But not only that, she gifted me a skein of her chromatic yarns in the Font of Magic colourway. Oh, it couldn't be more perfect. I love the name, I love the colours. Look at the speckly yum yums. Oh, look at that section there. Oh, it's gorgeous. Font of Magic, and it's the BFL 4-ply, 100% superwash blue face Leicester. So that is going to be not a sock, because even though BFL is very sturdy, refer to previous comment about trotters rather than feet. Maybe a hat, maybe in a shawl or a cowl, maybe some mitts, maybe part of a fade, because I really, really want to knit myself a fadey jumper in 2019. So that's that. So thank you ever such a lot, Hannah, again. I know it's taken me a while to get to this and say thank you properly on the podcast, but I love this so much and I really appreciate your kindness. Thank you. Next was a little treat to me from me, and it's from Little Drops of Wonderful. The lovely Ali from the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast has designed and had made a little pin badge, and she's selling them in her Etsy shop. Oh, light, come on. See if it'll focus now. Oh, come on. Can't hold it still enough. But it's got a little sparkly raindrop with lots of grey raindrops that are looking sad behind it. And it says, "You are a little drop of wonderful." How gorgeous. And it's all rainbow colours behind. I loved it, so I treated myself to that. And as I said, I bought a pin badge when we were on holiday in Scotland. We visited a couple of Visit Scotland properties, which are a bit like, no, now I get mixed up. I think they're like the National, yes they are, National Trust of Scotland. And they've got some lovely things in their gift shops. And I bought myself a rainbow coloured Highland cow pin for my bag. And that's upstairs on my dressing table. I meant to bring it down. But I'll show you that next time. It's nice to have something for next time. The last thing I want to show you is that I took part in an Indie Dyers yarn swap. And I was quite sad because I thought it had been lost. The post office had lost two of my, well, I thought they'd lost two of my parcels that I was expecting. They've also lost a parcel that I sent out with 3 skeins of yarn in it. So I've got to put a compensation claim in for that. I have replaced them, sent them back out, and I'm really hoping with all my heart that they've now landed with their lovely owner, because 2 of them were Christmas yarns, and I guess you might want to knit those now. So I'm really hoping. I sent it recorded delivery, signed for, so I'm hoping that's got there, but I digress. Anyway, yesterday I had a most lovely surprise and found that my swap package had indeed arrived. So I got a note and it says, and I actually don't know the name of the lady who sent it to me. I've looked on her page and I can't see her name on her yarn page, but I will do more digging and I will find out. It says, "Merry Christmas, hope this is bright enough, love, Santa." Because I just said I love bright colours. And honestly, lovely Santa, are you a mind reader? Because I am more and more obsessed by neons every day. I love 4-ply, I love sparkles, and look what came. This is by Dinosaur. What a brilliant name. And I love the logo as well. And it is just neon heaven. It's called Neon Obsession. And it is 75 superwash merino, 20 nylon and 5 gold stellina, which is one of my favourite new bases. I've just started dyeing on this. And it's got blue, green, yellow, pink, orange. Oh my God, I love it. And look at this. How beautiful. So yes, thank you, Santa. It is bright enough. So, that's all I've got to say to you this time. As I say, I'm hoping if I can just get the house sorted out enough to be able to show you around it. It's just tidying up and a bit of cleaning, really. I would like to do a little bit of a Christmas house tour, because every year I think I should do it, because I really do love decorating for Christmas, and not to toot my own horn too much, I do think I'm really blooming good at it, and I would like to share it with you all. I have lots of different displays and things around the house, so I'm planning to do that, and hopefully we'll have a bit of a chat whilst I'm showing you around there. But apart from that, I just want to say thank you all for supporting me this year. Those of you who've watched my podcasts and given me feedback, those of you who've followed my page on Instagram or Facebook, those of you who've been following Derbyshire Dyers market nights, and those of you on here who've subscribed. I know I've got quite a few new subscribers, so hello and thank you very much for that. And I've really appreciated you following me on this rather interrupted journey this year. One of my plans for the new year is to become more regular again with my podcasts. We'll see how that goes. There's been quite a lot going on recently, family-wise, so yeah, that's been preventing me. But hopefully things will settle down. I'll be able to get more continuity in life again, and I'll be able to podcast a little bit more frequently, even if it's just one a month, but I always make one a month. That would be better than what I've managed this year. So anyway, that was all to say. May you all have a very merry and bright Christmas if you celebrate, and a very lovely restful break if you're just going to be off around this time. And I'll see you in hopefully my little Christmas tour, and thank you again. Happy Christmas, everybody. Bye.